Hey guys, this is Ginger and welcome back to the farm. So today is Friday, so I've had Jigs almost a week now, and I just wanted to give you a little quick recap of how his first week went. We're taking things nice and easy and slow with him. He is a year and 3 months stud colt that I've added to my farm, and I'm very excited about that. And one thing I'm doing is taking things just nice and slow. Like he's not a training horse. He's not something that I'm doing for anybody but for me, so I can take the time that I like to build a relationship with him. And one thing that the first couple of days was kind of hard was being able to catch him. He, it was very cold and windy, and he was nervous. He had never been away from home, and he just wasn't too sure about me catching him. So for me, like, that's, the most important thing to start with is making sure that I can catch him. And what I mean by that is that I can catch him without having to grab his halter or run him up into another pen. The goal is always for him to come to me and want to be caught, and that he catches me. And so that's one thing we've been working on, and we made some pretty good success with that. This week. I still have his halter on him because now I'm teaching him to lower his head and put it down and put it inside of the halter before I take, the halter off of him completely. Because he still hasn't quite grasped that concept yet of what I'm asking, but he's like on the cusp of it, like it's right there. So anyway, I want to show just a few clips of how this week went. So this is session 1. It was so incredibly cold and windy, and he was extremely nervous. And so all I worked on this day was just being able to touch his face and his neck. It took me quite a while to be able to catch him. And so once we got to this point, I caught it, and that was the end of the day. And this was our next session where I was working on some grooming. Sorry about the squeaky toy. That is my dog playing. And he was quite nervous and kept trying to run over the top of me. This is also why I wear a helmet a lot of the times when I'm working with horses. Because of, activities like this, especially when you're out alone, it just gives me a little bit of extra safety to that, but he finally got over that. And then the next session I started working on him with lowering his head. Catching him each time became easier and easier and easier, but then it was still a little difficult getting the rope thrown over him, so I don't feel comfortable yet removing the halter because I still have to put my hands on the halter to do anything with him. Now this was our next to the last session for this week, and he let me throw the rope right over him, and I didn't have to use the halter at all to be able to get him or put my hands on him. So I was really happy with that. And he's still really mouthy and still wants to chew on things, so we're going to have to address that pretty soon, but not quite yet. And then this is our very last session that we had, and I started adding in some rope work on his legs so that I can start leading him around by the legs, because now we're going to have to start picking up some feet here real soon and get him ready for the farrier. And he actually did pretty nice with that. He was very confused. This is the very first time, and he wasn't too sure about what it meant, but he didn't panic and he didn't get upset about it. And he followed along a few steps, and so I was good with that. I was able to catch him super easy on this day, and was able to get the lead rope on him, and practice putting another halter on his head. And so I think we are almost there to where I can just remove that halter and start catching him, like I normally catch my horses. I was able to get my hands around his ears and relax them there. And so he's making really, really good progress with this, and he's not nervous about it at all anymore. And he's settled in with his new little herd mates too, and they're all doing really well. And so I'm really happy with him. He's gotten so much better about the ropes being thrown and tossed around all over him. He still doesn't lower his head quite as low as I would like it to be. He is definitely the kind of horse to where when he doesn't want to do anything, he kind of sets his jaw and wants to brace against that. So we're going to take this nice and easy on that so that he can learn that it's quite enjoyable to do what I ask him to do. Because I feel like if I try to force him into that too much, then we're definitely going to have a battle of wills. And this is him. He had a little stretch after all that, and I think he kind of figured out that it actually felt really good to lower and relax his head. And then I gave him a little ball so that he can play. So I hope you enjoyed these few little clips, and that you follow along with the Jigsaws journey and his future as a riding horse, possibly a show horse, and then one day my breeding stallion. So drop any questions you have down in the comments, and we'll see about getting them answered. See you later.